Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. This evening, I want to talk about the hypocrisy of the Biden administration, lawmakers, the legislation, the Memphis Police Department, and all the people out here calling for police reform now, after all this has happened. Now, the Memphis Police Department, before I get started with that, has confirmed that a 6th officer has been relieved of his duty and a unidentified 7th officer has been relieved of their duty as a part of an investigation into the death of Tyree Nichols. The city's fire department also announced today that 2 of its EMTs and a lieutenant was terminated following their own internal investigation into the death of Nichols. Again, Nichols was pulled over and dragged out of his car and beaten by 5 Memphis police officers and died 3 days later. Their justification was that he was reckless driving. They were fired and charged with murder. Today, the Memphis Police Department confirmed that Preston Hemphill, let me put his picture up, Preston Hemphill, the 6th officer had been relieved of his duty, according to spokesperson Kimberly Elder. The Memphis Police Fire Department said EMTs Robert Long and Jamichael Sandrick, along with Lieutenant Michelle Whitaker, were terminated from their department after an investigation revealed the 3 violated numerous MFD policies and protocols. Yet what I want to talk about is the hypocrisy of Sean Hannity, Fox News, and the Biden administration, the lawmakers, and the chief of the Memphis Police Department, all of a sudden wanting to call for police reform. Now, peace to my brother Brown's Flat Power God. Thanks for coming through, good brother. Now, all of a sudden, you have all these media outlets who would normally be saying or justifying what the police do to us. Now that it's 5 black officers, these self-hating dummies who attacked and killed one of their own brothers, you think they'll take their job to assure the safety of their own people in their community where they work at. Instead, they go around doing the same thing that our open and consistent enemy does. Now, 5 self-hating Negro officers plastered all over the news program and newspaper. Now, Sean Hannity is talking about how terrible it is. Even Joe Biden is talking about how terrible it is, and we need police reform. Now, they're talking about how horrific it is and how horrific the video footage of the 5 officers beating Tyree Nichols merciless on a Memphis street. It is horrific as it was 31 years ago with Rodney King, as they compared it to. Yet it is as horrific as seeing Jalen Walker shot by police as he was running from them like 70 times. An unarmed brother shot all those times because a police officer decided to call for his death by making a false call saying shots fired. He said shots fired, and he said he looked and he seen what looked like a spark from a firearm, which was not true, coming from the man's car. And it called for officers when the brother jumped out and started running, shot him several times to the point that they almost shot each other. They were shooting so much. It is horrific as seeing George Floyd murdered in a torturous manner while other officers kept the people at bay. And watched as George Floyd was murdered by a fellow officer. All of it's horrific. It's horrific as seeing Eric Garner having several officers piling on him while one had his arms around the man's neck. It's horrific as seeing Oscar Grant shot in the back at a train station by a police officer. It's horrific as seeing Philando Castile shot in front of his girlfriend and little girl in a vehicle. Officer Yanez wasn't at that car a minute before he was firing into the car of a law-abiding citizen who had a gun permit, told the man he had a gun permit. When they hear gun coming out of a black man's mouth, even if it's a police officer, another police officer will panic. Now, Corrine Gaines, she died over a traffic stop. She so-called sassed police and told, she didn't comply. She didn't capitulate with them. I know some people say the sister was crazy. No, she was just as fed up as any of us was fed up with being subjected to tyranny by police. Peace to my brother, Big Dog Philly OG. It's as horrific as seeing Freddie Gray put into the back of a police van, and they took him on what they call the ride. They don't secure him in the police van and they drive erratically. They do what our brother Tyree Nichols was accused of. The police actually did it, drove erratically and recklessly. And the brother, he was handcuffed, but was not secured in the vehicle. So he was flying all over the vehicle as they drove all over the place. And in my own area, I had friends killed by police officers 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. In my own city, Barry DeLoach, Sean Potts, and most recently Diallo Grant, all killed by the police in our area. Now, the chief of police in Memphis, the current chief, CJ Davis, she was fired by the Atlanta Police Department in 2008 because she covered up a child pornography case between a friend police officer who was a sergeant, who had a husband who was a detective, he was involved with underage little girls as a police officer, and she told detectives not to investigate him. And when Internal Affairs found out, she was fired. That's how she probably more than likely ended up in Memphis in the first place. C.J. Davis became the first female police chief in Memphis history in 2021, and is currently in international, spotlight after her unit, the Scorpion, beat her brother to the point of dying. Again, she was fired from the police department in 2008 in Atlanta for her alleged involvement in a sex crime investigation into the husband of an Atlanta police sergeant. Two detectives accused Davis of telling them not to investigate Terrell Marion Crane, who was married to Sergeant Tanya Crane, after the police department obtained photos of him with underage girls. A federal grand jury later indicted Terrell Crane on pornography, and he pleaded guilty to one count of child pornography in 2009. This according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, a newspaper out there. Now, I'm going to show a clip of Sean Hannity, Geraldo Rivera, and two other people on and having a conversation talking about how police officers everywhere are horrified about what they've seen happen with Tyree Nichols. It's outright hypocrisy. And it's sickening. Things like this make me sick to my stomach, the utter hypocrisy of these media platforms.
All right, here with more is the co-host of the Five, Geraldo Rivera, and the host of Lawrence Jones Cross Country. LJ is with us, and Fox News contributor and former D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams. Thank you all for being with us. LJ, let me start with you. You watch this tape, you see this tape, and I know so many people in law enforcement, and I was looking for this 5 guys there against one young man. And obviously they have the advantage of pulling out their stun guns and pulling out pepper spray. They're mad, they're angry. At no time did I hear anyone say, sir, everybody calm down. We're not going to hurt you. We're not here to hurt you. But we do have to take you into custody. We really need your cooperation. Tone could mean everything. I heard nothing but anger, like real anger. And you see the physicality here. We're talking about 5
There goes the
on 1.
angry black man
I'm having a hard time. That is not the policing that I believe officers are trained in.
You know, Sean, we've done this a lot. We review the facts, the evidence, and we don't rush the judgment. But you can't deny what you see on tape. And I'm not just talking for myself. I'm talking about the officers that I've been texting back and forth. Sean, when you brought me to the channel, I've been covering crime for a long time. I know a lot of cops. Talk to them on a day-to-day basis. And they're all horrified. They want to wish their condolences to the Nichols family.
Listen to this corn cop explain.
This video that just stood out to me. You come to the scene out of control. You disobey police policy. You don't just roll up on a car like that. You don't know what the suspect could possibly have. You put yourself at risk, and then you slaughtered the suspect. You started to spray each other with the spray because you're not using it the right way. You use your taser the wrong way. You use your batons the wrong way. You didn't restrain the suspect the right way. I mean, there's just basic police protocol. And then I just can't get past the fact that you held the suspect up and you beat him. You took turns. You used your baton in the wrong way. And then I just can't help but be annoyed by the fact that they fist bumped at the end. So there were many layers to this. Basic police protocol was broken right here. They were on a power trip. And he didn't have to die that night. He was crying out for his mom. Again, they have the right to defend themselves in a court of law. But just from a tactic standpoint, basic police protocol. Sean, I started off when I was 16 years old as a police explorer. I know protocol, and they broke every rule in the book.
You know, Geraldo, LJ's right. He's crying for his mom at one point. He's literally getting punched and kicked and pepper sprayed and tasered. And, you know, there's 5 cops there. They're supposed to be the trained professionals in a situation. Look, he was obviously scared. Obviously felt they were being overly aggressive from the get-go and said so. Hey, guys, there's a lot going on here. Early on, there was nobody there that tried to even diffuse it. And then, you know, to watch this one cop just come walking in disgusted and just kick this kid in the head, not once, but twice. You know, a kick in the head kills people, Geraldo.
You know, Sean, this wasn't 5 cops. This was a wolf pack. This was a cowardly, sadistic bunch of brutes who murdered a man right before our very eyes. That's the most eerie thing.
Now, you never hear Sean Hannity or Geraldo Rivera demonize police officer and talk about how brutal and how vicious they are. You never hear this coming from them. Never.
Thing about it, you're watching a dead man screaming for his mother. I mean, it is outrageous. It is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. And where the hell was a police sergeant? Where was a supervisor? You have these 5 macho cops out there who I don't know how much training they had. Their instinct was to lash out, was to inflict pain, was to torture this young man to death. It is really, it makes me want to puke. It is the most sickening thing I've ever seen in terms of police brutality. And the way that the one cop kind of winds up and then goes 10, 15 feet to land a blow.
Peace to my brother, Realize.
To the victim's head. And then another kick. And then the other one takes a turn. And he's obviously defenseless. I mean, it is really, when I first heard the charges of murder too, I said, wow, that's pretty serious this early in the game. But when you see this, it is clear that this was reckless disregard for human life. This is murder to Alicia.
Ted Williams, I like Geraldo, like LJ, I know a lot of police officers. And I'm watching, and I see 5 cops around him, and I find it almost spectacularly unbelievable to me that 5 trained officers, obviously lacking in a lot of training, that they can't cuff one young man and they can't get control of the situation. And they all let their, seemingly all of them, most of them anyway.
They were beating on a brother. It's not the fact that they couldn't control the situation and they couldn't cuff him. The young brother was running for his life because they was beating on him and he knew what it was. They was trying to kill the brother, and subsequently the brother died. What is they talking about?
Can I speak on it for a second, please?
Yeah, go ahead, good brother.
Man, this is bothersome to me. And you know, a lot of people be like, well, Realize why you so fired up, why you so wiry. And it's like when do we stop seeing this? When shit, man, I'm sorry, bro.
Take your time, brother. Take your time, brother.
When do we do something about what we're seeing, right? When do we say, you know what? God damn, an eye for an eye. You know, I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to get nobody's channel shut down. But I'll say this, my brother. As a soldier, as a warrior that I know I am, that I know I was put here to be. When do we just say, hey man, look, fuck you going to jail. Let's see if you make it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because when you know that it's going down and somebody's or out to take your life, you have a right to self-preservation. That's a right
Thank you.
somebody that's a right
Thank you.
somebody can't give you or take from you. That's a natural right of yours.
That's a
Nobody
born
can't give you
passage, man. The
exactly.
right to survive. It's either fight or flight. And everybody know that, man. These are natural laws to life, bro. Either I'm gonna fight you or I'm gonna run from you. And if I decide to stay in there and fight you, how am I like when are we gonna say, yo, man, enough is enough? Listen, if y'all not gonna all right, don't do nothing if you don't want. All right, don't do nothing. Okay, listen, we just gonna sit back and watch what y'all do. And if you don't do nothing, listen, we gonna do something.
I mean, that's I
When
mean
are we gonna stand up and do that?
we that's to be expected because you can't expect a people to just continuously take abuse and witnessing their people being murdered, and then you got these five Negroes who think they rose above the condition of their people, and they out here, being midnight marauders, just running around beating on people. Now,
You know what I've noticed?
I guarantee you, these same five idiots would not be in a white neighborhood doing that to white boys.
You know what I've noticed is that when it's done in their order, it's okay. See, I believe that this right here is gonna spark something, but I don't know if they understand the spark that it's gonna have. See, the thing is that they allowed the shit to happen for so long that it had to be these guys to step up and do some heinous shit so that everybody just wake the fuck up. But I don't think they
Exactly.
understand what they are doing. See, they are setting up I don't know, bro, maybe I'm wrong, but I have these thoughts,
But,
man. I have these feelings, and I'm like, yo, there's gonna be an uprise behind this. There has to be, but
but it's
it shouldn't be for fighting, or it shouldn't be for separation. It should be for, you know what, you motherfuckers have taken it too far, and it's time for us to stand up.
they been took it too far. But I
And
know
that's
one
just
thing.
that's how
But
I
I
feel.
know.
Tamir
But I
Rice is
know
too
one
far.
thing.
Tamir Rice is too far.
But I know one thing. I know one thing. That they cannot say to us again that they showed us that it doesn't take 6 months to a year to investigate, terminate, and indict officers when they fuck up.
That's a fact.
I
That's a
know
fact.
that
It only
much. They
should take
showed
what?
us. They showed
It
us
should
it
take
don't
less than
take
20
that
days,
long.
right?
They did that in 20 days.
Exactly. Less than 20 days. Less than 20 days. It should take less than 20. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care what color they are. It should take less than 20 days. If you are caught on camera doing something wrong and doing something heinous, your punk ass should be fired and locked up. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. From now on, if it don't go out, y'all, hear me out. From now on, if it don't go like this, I,
It's automatic cover up. It's an automatic cover up because
man, fuck that
if it
cover up.
was
It
five,
should be
it
something
was
else. Do you understand what
if
I'm
it
saying,
was
my G?
five white officers, they would have been talking about transparency. Let us do a job. Trust that we'll do the right thing when they never do the right thing. That's what it would have been. But with these idiots, I mean, they're doing the right thing, which they showing us they could do the right thing, but only when it comes to one of us. And they showing these dumb Negroes that you can't do what we do. Even to your own, you can't do what we do. This our thing. You can't go around beating on niggas and getting away with it. This our thing.
Hey, my
And
G, let's
any one of them niggas that was out there beating on their brother, if they wasn't in that uniform, they could have fell a victim to the same damn thing.
mm-hmm.
Any one of them. That's why I say they think they rose above the condition of their people. But any one of them could have been in that same predicament if they wasn't in that uniform.
Check me out, G. See, this is my thing with it, right? And I hate doing this, but we all know it's the motherfucking truth. The color barrier, right? Look, man, we all knew soon as we heard this story and we seen 5 black faces, we was like, yeah, them niggas going to jail. We know it. We know this, right? Because there's a difference of opinion, right? They were called thugs and this is a gang. But we've been saying this about police forever. But they just the other color. They the other color.
Exactly.
And I hate saying that shit because it sounds fucked up, but it's the truth, bro. It's the truth. When it's our color, yes, they're gang. Yes, they're thugs. But when it's their own,
in this conversation right here,
they don't say that. They don't say that.
In this conversation here, they even talked about, you know, they even used the angry black man narrative when it came to the cops. How horrific it was, how vicious it was, or how they approached the situation. They're right, but they don't say that when it comes to white officers behaving the same way. And white officers is as they are more vicious. This is the same thing that happened to Rodney King back in like 31 years ago. They pulled the brother out his vehicle and just beat him down. But it just so happened that this young brother passed away. He died. You're talking about 5 men who weighed over 200 pounds against a 150-pound man. And they were standing him up and beating him up, kicking him while he was down and handcuffed, tasering him. And then they tried to cover up and tried to hide the identity of the white cop who tased him. They just fired him today. And there's another cop that's unidentified, a 7th one that's unidentified. So they'll do this. See, they want. See, what they're trying to do is make black police officers the face of police brutality and police corruption. When black officers have absolutely no power in a department, they face racism themselves in the department.
Shit, bro.
And then all this is happening under the leadership of a black chief who are setting up these units.
How much do you trust her? Because I don't trust her as
she got fired in Atlanta. She was Atlanta's chief. She got fired in Atlanta.
Look, okay, I didn't know that. So you know a little bit more than me. But I'm gonna tell you, just from seeing just listening to her talk, I'm like, bitch, you just as bad as the motherfuckers that's doing it. Like, I don't trust you.
She's an enabler, bro.
Exactly. Like, but see, one thing that I do know, right? One thing that I do know about this shit is that a lot of these officers were allowed to work on because see, they had a special unit. This was a unit, right?
Already, brother. They got complaints about.
No. Hear me out. I just want to make this point. They made this unit, but in making this unit, they knew that a lot of these officers already had, histories and shit, but they overlooked them histories because they wanted to put together this unit. That's what I'm saying. And that's a fact.
That's a fact.
All these officers have fucked up past and they overlooked it. She, being the one that hired them, overlooked that shit, bro.
Now you think, you would think that officers, especially a woman who can potentially give birth to a black man, wouldn't want to cause harm to a black man. But now, with the way some of these sisters behave, you never know. But for the most part, our sisters are down with us. But if I was chief of police, I wish somebody would do harm to somebody where I'm chief at. It'd be a situation.
Facts. Hell yeah. You ain't
It'd be a situation.
And it'd be more of a situation than
they'll be fired and indicted so fast that make your head spin.
Right, exactly. Because you care about the people. and you hired this person to take care of the people. So if you in turn not only not take care of the people but harm someone, boy, your ass is mine. Fuck is you talking about?
That's a fact,
I
bro.
hired you. I hired you to protect the same fucking people that I say I care about. See, this is our man. Look, I'm angry about this shit. I'm so angry about it because it's like it took this for this to happen. Why does it take a black person to always be the fucking face of something? Get the fuck out of here, bro. How long we been going through this shit? And now that some niggas do it, you know, beat the shit out of a nigga because we all seen Rodney King. Did any of them get in trouble? Don't worry, I'll wait. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying they right because all them motherfuckers better go to prison. I promise you they better. But the thing
They're going to jail. They're going to prison.
I know they are. But the thing is, for me, is why don't all of them go to jail?
Slow burn,
Why
you got
don't
to connect
all
your
of them,
mic.
you know what I'm saying? Why don't all of them get processed and why doesn't it happen the same way for everybody across the board? Why only one demographic? Why only one demographic of people get, you know what I'm saying? Because think about what they did with George Floyd, right? We
Hold
watched
on,
it
bro.
happen with George
Hold
Floyd.
on, brother. Slow burn. You have to connect your mic.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, good brother. Go ahead.
So think about what happened with George Floyd, right? I'll just talk more calmly and slowly. We watched them take it, right? It took what, like 9 months for them to put, to even understand the case or whatever, and then they was like, nah, we all right, y'all good. They literally kicked the case up. That like there is no George Floyd Act, like there is no law against murking us, bro. You know what I'm saying? We get
Mr.
murked,
Slow
nothing
burn.
happens. You feel what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is with the Asian thing, right? They literally less than 20 days, I think it was like 18 days, but it took y'all 9 months to even think about giving us something. And then y'all was like, nah, y'all niggas good.
Yeah, now we have to take our own initiative. We can't.
That's what I'm saying, my G.
We can't
I'm
expect to
sorry, go ahead.
go to their brother to ask them to do something about their behavior. It's not going to happen. I want to welcome Slow Burn to the platform.
Salute, my brother. Salute.
I mean, I want you to share what you have with the platform about the situation. I will gladly be, happy to hear what you have to say. Welcome.
Peace to the channel, to the panel, and the
Peace.
chat. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Sorry, goddess. Salute to you, goddess. Salute.
It's all good. No, I'm good with you, brother. You fine. I just think this whole situation is just ridiculous all the way around the board. I mean, like you were saying earlier, brother, enemies public. They didn't act like votes.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
So horrific.
Yeah, exactly. We talk about how horrific it is now, but they
So
will.
can I ask you something, Queen? Can I ask you something, please, real quick, Queen? Our queens, right, are the ones that put together. Okay, they put together the tactics, right, of what we're supposed to do. They put together the plan. How do you suggest that maybe we execute such plan as far as getting ourselves ready, because we've been at war for the past 200 years, and that's a fact. We've been at war for the past 200 years. How do we fight this war that we're in? In your best analogy.
That's to you, the queen. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have the blueprint of how we should fight the war because, I'm really, I don't really, I'm not in a part of the war. You know what I'm saying? I don't really put myself in it like that, but I just think, I don't know. I can't really give you an answer for that. I don't want to just say anything because I couldn't really hear your full question. So, but as far as the situation goes, I mean, I think it was ridiculous that they took it upon themselves to beat this guy like that, and they are black officers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never hear where black officers are brought up on charges or anything like that for doing horrendous stuff like this to white people. You know what I'm saying? Not that they should do it to anyone,
Exactly.
but they knew better not to do it to Caucasian people. I mean, and if they did, it was covered up. You know what I'm saying?
Can you hear me better now? I took my headphones out.
I can hear you a little better. And it's out now that
And I'm
one of the officers ex was
I'm
with
glad that they did charge
brother.
him because he was really going to get away with.
Yeah, if if it was just the body cam footage, they probably would have been able to finagle something, but that footage from the pole is what was hook, line, and sinker and was the nail in the coffin because they can't redact that. You know what I'm saying? But that body cam footage, they could take it and do whatever they want with it. But it was the footage that the people seen from the elevated platform that showed everything. When they was kicking and when they was hitting him with the asp and tasing him, standing him up, punching him. That was a nail in the coffin. But I just don't like the hypocrisy of
Yeah, I heard the parents do their interview today.
Mic check. Can you
the
hear me
hypocrisy of Sean Hannity and Geraldo Rivera and all these news outlets, President Biden, and all of them want to all of a sudden talk about police reform. That's sickening to me because everything that these cops did is not consistent with their policy. It's the culture of policing is the problem because their policy is against that. But when you got a field training officer that teaches you to disregard what you was taught in the academy, this is how we're going to police. Your field training officer gives you the instructions of what kind of officer you're going to be if you listen to your FTO. If your FTO is an asshole, he's going to teach you to be one.
Can I ask why is it that when it comes down to officers, right? We talk about good officers, we talk about bad officers. Why are the officers that are standing around watching lynching happen, right? You standing around, you watching the lynching happen. What happens with us when we sitting around and we watch somebody get their life taken? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they not held accountable? You standing around, you watching, you not
That's
doing
exactly
nothing.
what I said. There's policies against that.
They said they said the EMT driver, which is the ambulance driver, never got out the truck.
And
never got out the truck to get.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
never got out the truck.
That is crazy.
Okay, so if he never got out the truck, then why is he any different than the cop that last cop's blow that made that man check out? Why is he not just as responsible as the police that put his hands on him to put him in that situation? Why is he not just as responsible?
He will be.
Hold on, wait. I'm just saying, bro. I'm putting it out here because this is what we need to be turning up for. We don't need to turn up for no reason. But when it's shit like this that happen, when they just blatantly saying, nah, we don't give a fuck. This is what we need to be turning up for. And this is just how I feel. I'm not trying to put nothing on nobody, but this is just how I feel. This is the type of stuff we need to be turning up for. Like, you gonna sit here and tell me that I can go to prison for the rest of my life because I didn't say something when I saw something happen, but y'all all seen something happen. We watched you seeing something happen, and none of y'all said nothing. But none of y'all else, nobody else go to prison. But the people that did it, nah, man, that's bullshit. Cuz
Again, the policy tells them they are supposed to intervene and stop the officer if the officer is going too far. Yet they don't do that. I've seen one situation on a video where a female officer grabbed the sergeant.
And he grabbed her around her neck.
He grabbed her around her neck because she was stopping him from tasing a brother who was cuffed in a car. And he grabbed her around the neck and said, "Never touch me again," which is crazy.
Yeah, I seen that.
She was doing the right thing.
You know what's crazy? She got fired.
You know, I was about to say she got suspended right after that. Like they put her on administrative leave for a minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she was reinstated, and the cop was had charges brought against him for battery.
I was listening to this guy. He's on YouTube. Undisputable. He goes after the police. He don't care. He's a black dude. He goes.
Dr. Richie Richard.
Do we know what happened with that follow-up though? With that lady? Did he get charged?
Let the sister speak. Let her go. Let her go.
You got it. Go ahead, sister.
He was saying that once he got the officer's name, because he's an attorney, he said he did a background check on them just to see, prior to them being an officer or what have you, what type of record they had. And one of the guys was an ex-correctional officer. And he said this dude's record as a correctional officer was horrendous. Like, he had so many complaints against him. He just was a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? And then they put him on the daggone police department. So, I mean, them doing police and I don't know what they're going to do, but the way they're going about picking officers, it's not good, because I mean, it's a lot. People got a lot of hatred in their heart. I mean, and then when you get someone like that authority with a gun, it can go wrong immediately. Like this situation we got right now.
Yeah, it went bad.
There's no telling how many people that squad that
Right. I mean, think about it. If the brothers is acting like that, ain't no telling how everybody else acting. For real. If they acting like that, ain't no telling how everybody else acting.
Well, I see it like this. I guarantee you those 5 officers are not going in a white neighborhood, snatching up white boys and beating up no white boys or anybody white. I guarantee you that. They're only allowed to do that in their own neighborhoods, or at least where their people at. They're only allowed to do that. And the only person, I mean, and I guarantee you, like Officer Muhammad Moore, when he shot the white woman.
Yeah, that squad was only in the black neighborhoods.
Exactly. Because it's supposed to be a unit to suppress crime. And where is crime happening according to law enforcement, according to government? In our neighborhoods, crime don't happen in white neighborhoods, so they say. The real crime happen in white neighborhood, but they want to be running around snatching brothers out of their vehicles. But I'm going to do my investigation about this situation with the woman they said involved. I don't want to speak about that because I don't know it's true, because I don't want. I'd rather do my investigation, be right and exact, instead of doing a retraction.
They took a bunch of black men, you know what I'm saying, and they made them the example. That's exactly what happened, bro. This shit been going on forever. We know that. Listen, I'm from Michigan, right?
Yep.
I know that if you from Detroit and you run from the police, you gonna get your ass whooped. Like that's just a given for real. That's like a no. That's a known thing. You run from the police, you get your ass whooped, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we already know. But why is it being played at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. on the news? Why is that happening, bro? Because they want us to see all that shit. Man, listen, they
To
want
make
us
us
to
immune to it
they want us to see this shit, G. I'm
I
telling you
think. Look,
because
and
I
desensitize
know
them
it
to it.
happens. It's happened to
I
me.
think
Look, it's happened to me. You run, you get beat up.
I think after this situation, all black officers, and of course, they're saying, we want to hold people accountable. That if you get any form of black people that come together as a group that want to push a narrative or, feel to freedom of speech to say how they feel about something, they're going to consider you a gang.
Yeah.
They're going to put the same
Or
narrative
radical,
on
or
these people,
radical.
because they keep saying this is the blueprint.
Yeah. What's
Oh yeah,
crazy
yeah,
about
yeah. This
that?
is the blueprint of for the.
They call us radical when we say I'm tired. They do.
What's
Every
crazy
time.
about the gangs? All of our organizations that turned into gangs was made gangs by law enforcement. Most of these organizations were these
Yeah.
gangs were
That's a fact,
organizations,
man.
and they
That's
were
a fact.
made gangs by law enforcement.
That's a fact.
CIA
That's a
operatives,
fact.
undercover police, and FBI. They came and they infiltrated, and they made our organizations what they are today.
That's a fact. Nobody can't even say nothing against that. That's a fact.
These organizations
Yeah.
didn't start out as gangs; they was turned
These,
into
or,
gangs.
these organizations started off as we got to protect ourselves from the
Exactly,
others, from the others, from the
exactly.
others. And the others, what the others did is say, you know what? We just gonna
And
criminalize what the fuck you're doing, and we gonna kill you.
They're gonna
And we're
criminalize
gonna legally do it.
everything we do. They're gonna criminalize it, even if we're out here doing
every
right. They're gonna criminalize it.
yeah, yeah. If you come
That's a
together
fact,
in a
man.
peaceful protest, they're gonna criminalize
Exactly. Hold on. Do y'all notice? Look, check this out.
it. And you
Okay,
know what part
so
that
hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sis. Do y'all realize? Look, check this out. When 2000 was it 2021 when they stormed the Capitol? Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2021 when they stormed the Capitol. July 6th. There was nobody out
20,
there.
20.
Okay, my bad, sis. Okay, 2020 when they stormed the Capitol, there was nobody out there. But guess what? When George Floyd died, and we thought to step the fuck out, they had all kinds of military people out there. So understand that when you see what happened on the 6th, it's the same exact thing, except they don't have the same energy. They don't have the same outrage for them that they do us. Because them white folk ran all up in there, smeared shit everywhere. They did what they wanted to do. But when it comes
Yeah,
to us,
they would have
but when
shot.
it comes to us,
They would have shot their ass off that wall. I'll tell you that much.
they come out there with the military and everything. Gee, that's just straight up. We see it. It's right in front of your fucking face, which lets you further know that you have nothing to do
Listen,
with this government.
that was majority of black. If that was majority of black people going to that capital like that, and I live right here in the capital, but probably 15 minutes. I don't even think it's 15 minutes from. If that was black people doing that, oh man, they would have killed all them people.
They would have shot
All
us
of them,
off
as
that
many as they
wall.
could
We
anyway.
would have started breaking through
Hell
barricades.
yeah.
Somebody would have got shot.
Man, they would have.
And
Somebody would have
they
got.
never said nothing. White woman is going to get got shot.
Yeah, that white woman was shot by a brother cop too.
They never said no more about her.
Yeah, because she was
And she was
wrong.
a
That's why.
high ranking sergeant in the military.
but she wasn't supposed to be there, which is why they don't say nothing. See, the thing that frustrates me is that you see no resistance there, right? But when it's us, you see the top of the line resistance. The top of the line. They don't hold no punches. That's why I will always say we are prisoners of war. Because anytime that we gather and we put some shit together, they always deem it as us versus
This,
them. That's a fact.
yeah.
I mean, our success is
You know
we
what was sad though?
from them.
Hearing that tape, and listening to hearing that tape and listening to his mom and her, you know, she said she never listened to it, but she was told that he was calling his mother's name right at the end of, you know, when they were beating, probably like right before he died. Man, that thing made me cry because I got a son the same age. You know what I'm saying? Like it just was uncalled for. And the
Yeah,
reason why he ran is because he was scared. He feared for his life. And he was lost from home. He probably thinking he could make it to his house. You know what I'm saying? His parents or
You
you
gotta
know,
keep the make the
somebody
home.
could have
If I could just
stopped or
make the
helped him or
home,
something.
my home.
Mother
You
said
gotta
that
keep
at
the
the
make the
time
home,
it
my
was
home.
happening, she said she was in the and she walked out and she told her husband that her stomach was hurting and it was hurting really, really bad. And she said she honestly believed she was feeling her son pain as he was dying.
but the cops, when the police came to the house to tell her what happened to her son, she said they told her that her son was driving recklessly and he had a bad car accident. Not that they beat his ass and he went to the hospital. They said they went and lied to the mother and told the mother that he was
No,
driving
you're right. They
recklessly
did.
and
Did.
he was in
Did.
the hospital with a
Did.
in a car accident.
You're right, bro. They did. They did. I didn't get to
When
see it.
they have
But
beat
all I
him
can say,
to a pulp.
it's just it's really sad, man, and it hurts. You know what I mean? Because
Well, the interview I saw,
it
she said they knocked her on, they told her that they had tasered him and something else happened and he was in the hospital. So she said she asked could she go see him. They told her later the doctor from the hospital called her
Yeah.
and said, you know, it's such and such your son. She was like, yeah. He was
Why
like,
aren't you
so
here?
why aren't you here? She
Exactly.
said because she was told by the police to not go to the hospital. She said when she got there, she said she said her son was dead. She said there's no way he could have survived and came back to normal with how she saw him beat. She said his head was the size of a watermelon. His neck was broke.
You know what?
uh,
You know what kind of self
She said
hate
he
you have
wasn't
to have to
alive
do
at
your own
all.
like that. That's self hate. You
Oh
gotta have
man, that's some
hate.
deep self-hate,
It's some self
man.
hate. You can look at a
to
brother
beat a brother
like
down in the
that.
street like that,
Self
bro,
hate.
that's a prison, bro. That's a prison beating. Look, I always say this, man. I didn't seen brothers get jumped, right? I didn't seen brothers get jumped. I've never seen a brother get jumped like I didn't seen a brother get jumped in jail. I'm telling you, it's different. And that what I seen right there,
Yep.
you might as well put a sheet on that brother head and call it a sheet party. And that's what we called it in Michigan. Bro, when somebody come in there that's done something horrendous, you see them get a sheet party, bro. And that's what I seen that brother get. And that's why I think that maybe, just maybe, that what's going on, what they being was being said. He may have, been banging on somebody's wife. That might be because, bro. Why would y'all do that to him? You know what I'm saying?
You had to
Yeah,
hear
I
the
mean when
interview.
they
You had
approach
to
the
hear
car.
the interview.
Go ahead, sis.
His mother gave an interview. She said, listen, she said, I'm not saying that my son was a perfect angel. She said, but my son had the heart, I forgot what she said, but like of an angel. She said he had Crohn's disease. He He was a mama's boy. They told her he was drinking. He had a DUI. She said my son don't drink. And you can tell by the parents. I'm not saying that, your parents will determine how you as a person, but this lady was saying how he them. She feels sorry for the officer's family. Like, you can tell he was raised decent. I mean, I'm not saying that, like I said, he's an angel, but the dude they just picked him out, and that's what they targeted.
I would totally disown any one of them if they was in my family. Any one of those cops, I would not admit that.
Oh no, you ain't my cousin no more, cuz. Like, for real.
Not going around doing that.
Nah. I gotta disown you just because.
Hey,
go ahead.
You ain't even gotta worry about that, because when they get in that jail, especially the one that was the correctional officer also, oh, you better believe they gonna get the business.
Yeah, they gotta work
all
on the
that
committee
fighting that they was doing. I hope it was target practice for them, because they're gonna get there for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna
and
have a
they black, like, nigga, come on. You serious?
No doubt.
Oh yeah, they waiting on you. They waiting on you for sure.
They're gonna have a welcoming committee waiting for them.
They waiting on him. He gonna get a tea party as soon as he get in there.
Yeah, I heard that dude was he was up in Connecticut. He was at Hartford.
I always said this. You hurt one of my kids, the one of me.
I heard he had
something like that to one of my kids, and I couldn't get you, and the law sentenced you to jail.
You gotta do it how you do it.
I'm gonna find somebody in that jail. I'm gonna find somebody in that jail, and I'm gonna put money on their books to keep you in there.
Can I ask something though? Because I really want to know this, because people always tell me, bro, you always just wild. Like, yes, I'm a wild Indian, and I'm angry a lot of times because I'm tired of seeing what I see. Do you guys feel like there's a lot of people like me inside them walls, and once they get inside them walls, they're gonna understand exactly where we at, or do you think they're gonna get a rite of passage?
Well, these guys here that's about to go to prison, they're gonna have it hard in there.
Yeah. But see, you know what I don't see. This is the point that I'm trying to make though. George Zimmerman don't have to face that same type of, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What about
that's the bullshit?
That's our fault, because that man was walking around in Florida. He was walking in Florida.
My problem. You see, that's what I was gonna go into next. See, that's my problem, bro. If you don't want to take care of that problem, we should, and we should stop being so afraid, bro. Look, every time we get pulled over, we get nervous. You know what I'm saying? We might go to jail. So you get nervous every time you get pulled over, you might die. So what are we afraid of, man? Listen, if you do something to one of ours, we have to do. I just don't understand. I'm gonna be quiet, man. Go ahead.
I see it like this. Most of them guys are cowards, whether they black or white. They're cowards, and they're not as willing to die as they are to kill. They're afraid, and if they knew emphatically that if they harm one of us, somebody was coming to see them, they wouldn't do it. But we don't stick together like that.
See, that's what I'm speaking of. See,
together like that. If they knew somebody was coming to see them,
that's my
have to deal with what they did. I don't care how severe or how minor it is. Don't touch ours.
Like, you might fuck around and have a car crash, you know what I'm saying, with your kids in the car. Anything can happen.
I'm talking about straight up coming to see you. Straight up coming to see you like you came to see us.
Anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen, nigga. But you better know that if you do something to ours, nigga, something gonna happen to you. See, that's my problem. That's my point. They used to be able to do this legally. You can't do it legally. But when are you gonna stop saying when are you gonna say I don't give a fuck and say, you know what? Anything can happen. But if I'm gonna die taking care of my people. I'm gonna die loving on my people. I'm gonna die sticking up for my people. When are we gonna do that?
Realize, let me tell you something, brother. What do you think they are doing when they put their hands on our women and punch our women in the face, throw them to the ground? What do you think they're doing when they do that? Let me tell you something. I have a wife. I don't care what she did. If they handle her like that, I'm about to die.
Facts. Go ahead, talk.
I am about to die because you put your hands on my wife like that. You handle her like I don't handle her. You must be out your damn mind. I'm about to die. Why? Because I'm about to kill. And that's what they do. They'll put their hands on one of our women like that. And that, to me, that's trying us. They don't have no reservation, no apprehensiveness about putting his hand on our little girls. They'll slam our daughters. They will slam our daughters.
You will never see them punch a white woman in the face like that. Never.
And then they will come. They'll show up to a domestic violence call, telling you that you shouldn't hit a woman when they do it. The highest domestic violent rate is with police officers and their wives. You touch mine, like I said, I'm about to die. Right there and there.
See, the thing is, man, I hate saying this shit. This shit gets on my nerves, but we don't have enough of us protecting enough of them. And I hate saying that, but I have to say it because it's fucking true. And I believe that we need to come back together and love on one another that way. If we see this shit, we don't just pull out a bro. Why would you pull out a phone to see a woman being beat? That makes
that's crazy,
fucking sense to me.
That's
nigga,
crazy.
Listen, first of all, I might not come up on you and swing on you, but bitch, you gonna catch a brick to the dome. I promise you will. I'm gonna throw a brick at your ass so you get up off of her.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you're gonna need everything on that belt. You have to use everything on that belt.
Literally, you're gonna have to, because if I'm around a pack of dudes and it's 8 of us, right, and it's only 2 cops, bro, you're not about to kill nobody in front of me, bro. Listen.
Things changed since I was growing up. Things changed since I was in my 20s and 30s. A whole lot changed, bro. Since I was in my 30s, things changed.
I just don't understand it. There's no way I could be sitting there filming what happened to George Floyd. I can't sit 8 minutes, nigga. You think I'm finna sit here for 9 minutes and just watch you kill this nigga? No, you gonna have to kill me too, bro. You gonna have to. You gonna have to kill.
And that's how it's supposed to. That's how it's supposed to be. Because for one, when you see the police is doing what Derek Chauvin was doing, that's not law enforcement. You see him yelling and screaming, and he's killing that man right in front of you. If you're a man watching that, you're a punk. You're supposed to do something. You're supposed to do something instead of just standing there and letting him murder this man right in front of you.
This generation and these people in this mind right now in this time, all they want to do is pull their phone out and videotape. They're not going to assist and help. They're too scared.
Like I said, things changed since I was in my 20s. But you know what though? We go to jail for killing each other though. Rest of your life is the rest of your life. We go to jail for killing each other, but we have incredible restraint when it comes to others. Incredible restraint.
What I'm saying is
reevaluate that.
You go to jail for killing your own brother, right? But you won't go to jail for killing someone, or I don't even want to say that, man, because I hate that. But at the end of the day, you'll do something to your own, but won't do something to the next one,
I
right?
mean, killing somebody for self-defense, that's not a murder. That's
That's what I'm saying.
self-defense.
That's
I'm not
self-defense.
saying go around here and victimize the people, because you'd be just as bad as the people we talking about. I'm saying if somebody trying to do something to you, you have the first law of nature is self-preservation. That's the first law of nature of nature.
That's a fact. I listen. I ain't going, so you got to go. it's one of the two, and when one of the two happens, hey, I gotta pick me. And sometimes, even when you pick yourself, you still end up going.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's fight or flight, man, and they know that. See, this is the thing. They live by that shit. Do you understand that? They live by that fight or flight. You either gonna run or you gonna, you know what I'm saying? That's their listen. Even though it's not in their policy or none of that shit, that is literally their number one rule: fight or flight.
No, police policy. For police policy, they teach what they really teach is officer safety, but they'll go around acting like we're supposed to see them as heroes when they're not. They're not heroes.
You're right, bro.
But they want us to see them as that, yet they don't do heroism. Officer safety is cowardice. Public safety is heroism. They don't do public safety because the number one thing for them to do is make it home. The number one thing for them to do is save themselves and each other. And they're not even obligated to protect you.
No, they're not obligated to protect you. They're obligated to protect property.
Exactly. And they enforce policy. They don't care nothing about the law. That's why they don't take the time to learn it. You ask them about, do you know the First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth Amendment? They don't even know. They don't even know.
Why? You know why they don't know? Because they are the lowest.
Exactly.
They are the lowest part of law enforcement there is. Right? The sheriff is up in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? He one of the bailiffs and shit. You feel me? When it comes to policing, these officers don't know because they're not supposed to know. They're the slave catchers, bro.
And guess what?
Hold on, they always been slave catchers, bro. That's all they'll ever be. They don't have to know the laws to motherfucking rile your ass up.
And guess what? When they're swearing to protect the Constitution, they're swearing on something they don't even know, and they are they're repeating after the person who's swearing them in. They don't know it.
They didn't even study. They don't know the word. They're just repeating shit. They don't
and they actually say it. Repeat after me.
Exactly, cuz see
the mockery of it all.
Now we're getting somewhere because at the end of the day, they do not know, bro. The only thing they know is to yank your ass up to you know what I'm saying, put you in a chokehold. They only know how to pull their gun and fire that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even know case law. They don't even know case law. They don't even know that.
For real, bro. Think about this. Their whole training is to fuck something up. Think about that. That's real shit. Their whole training is to fuck something up. They do not know what the law is, and that's just fact.
They take orders, and you have to have the mindset that you will take orders, and that's what it's about when it comes to policing, taking orders. So when they go out in the street, patrolling or wherever they do, they want to be, in the rank and file so bad that when they encounter one of us, they expect us to just obey them like they obey their brass. We're not even in their rank and file. They'll say, because you won't talk to them, you're obstructing, but you're obstructing because you won't help them investigate you. Isn't that self-incrimination?
They don't they tell you, I don't answer any questions? Ain't that what they say? Tell the officer off the back, tell everybody, I don't answer questions. That's what they tell you. You have the right to remain silent. But when it comes to, and I'm not just going to say black, because when it comes to anyone who asserts their rights, They always say, "Why you being difficult? Why you being hostile?" And it's like, wait a minute, bitch, I ain't being hostile. I'm
You're
not being
supposed to
difficult.
assert your
I'm just
rights.
telling you. I'm just telling you that I understand my rights, and I'm not about to do what you just tell me to do because I understand my rights. They always make it a problem. This is what is the problem with policing. They always make it a problem when you know your rights and you say, "Hold on, wait a minute. Let me. I'm asking you a question." Even look, it seemed like this dude. It seemed like this young man Tyree. Seemed like all he did was ask what was going on, and he got beat.
Bro, he asked what was going. When he asked what was going on, he was on the ground.
But see, that's what I mean.
They
And that's when
snatched
they
him
got
out
real.
the vehicle,
Hold on,
threw him to
that's
the
when they got
ground.
real mean. Am I wrong? When he asked, man, yo, what's going on? Like, what's going on? It seemed like when he asked that
First
question,
thing he said was, "What I do? I didn't do nothing." They threw him to the ground. He wanted to know what was going on,
Yep.
and they was just pouncing on the brother.
It seems like when you assert yourself as a person that knows something, it seems like they get angry. It seems like they get butthurt. It seems like they start to act as if you're challenging them. You're being crazy. Man, just calm down, calm down. What do you mean calm down, bro? I just asked you what your name and badge number is. See, that's the type of stuff
When it's in their policy that they are supposed to provide it
I
upon
know that.
request.
I know that, my G. For sure. If I ask you, and first of all, if you are even if you're just talking to me, and I ask you what your name and badge number is, it's in your policy to tell me. That's in your policy, bro. That's in 99% of the motherfucking police department's policies all over the United States. If you encounter me and I ask you your name and badge number, you're supposed to give it to me. But we have these officers who will beat you the hell up.
Once they approach you in the first place, they are supposed to announce themselves and tell you who they are, even if they're in uniform.
Not only tell you who they are, but tell you why they're stopping you.
Yes, they are. They're supposed to tell you why they're stopping you. You know, first thing they're supposed to say, okay, they're supposed to their name, municipality, and why they stopped you. That's it. And a lot of them, they don't want to tell you. They don't expect you to know, and they don't want you to question them when they're supposed to be answering the court. They're supposed to be answering questions too.
Exactly. They the public servant. They work for you. Every time they take taxes out your check.
That's how it's supposed to be, but that's not how it is because departmental policy is not in the culture. It's a culture and it's policy.
You're right. And I believe that's built that culture. I believe personally that because they get all this money. Think about how many times you've seen a video of these officers, and half of them is just standing around. Now, are they really earning a paycheck? Does it really?
Not. And then when people ask them what are they doing, they get upset about it. And if a department can afford, if a department could afford tanks, they got too much money. Peace to the mental ninja. Peace, good brother. How you doing?
What's good with y'all?
If departments is not supposed to have tanks, if they have tanks, they got too much money to spend. When the military is needed, you call the military. The police department shouldn't have militarized weapons, and they used to officers with tactical gear on when there's nothing tactical about them because it looks cool. And they always want to do it. They're not climbing on nothing. They're not shimmying across no wire. They're not climbing on nothing or doing none of that tactical stuff. They just want to look cool wearing tactical gear when they're patrolmen.
I think that's embroiled power, if you could say so. It's embroiled power because the more power that they get, the crazier they act. When you think about this, right? When you take someone who's a punk pussy, right, and give them some power, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it. They're gonna push it to the next limit. right? Now you take that same pussy and you give them embroider power.
Bro,
Now,
bro,
see,
bro, 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 bro. Chill with the language. Chill with the language, bro.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you though. My bad. No disrespect.
Yeah, but you're right though. You get a lot of punks that they get power. Well, it's really perceived power. See, they was given power. They're given power through the culture, but the power really supposed to go to the people. But the culture of policing empowers them, like thinking you're supposed to do whatever they say. They're not over any authority over you unless you're under arrest. That's it.
That's a fact.
I mean, they
But
they
you
get- they
know,
don't
you
gotta
know,
put you under arrest to have that shit though. They
but
can
you know,
they can
go ahead.
detain you and shit for 45 for an hour.
They can't. They could detain you for a certain amount of time, and they
Yeah,
have to
so
let you go.
they
If
got an hour. They get an hour across the board from the Fed, right? And they have to conduct their investigation within an hour.
a Terry stop,
It's a paid wage, hourly wage and shit. So conduct it under the hour that you're paid. Now they can make mistakes and extend that hour because they're still human and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't fucking like really care for the police. I do know we need them and shit. You know what I'm saying? I just like, it seems like only the sucker niggas wants to be police and shit. Like, who really wants to like, make sure our neighborhoods and our society is safe and shit. But real
if
quick,
you're not doing it for that, you're a punk, man.
I mean, like the way I look at it, bro, like I don't want to be fucking sergeant in arms in my club, but I have to be. And it's a shitload of responsibility. I get no excuses, period. So like for a motherfucker who's like policing or accountable for that area of life and shit, they got more responsibility and shit. You know what I'm saying? And when shit goes wrong, they can't blame the people. They can only blame themselves.
Yeah, because it's reflecting leadership.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm not. Look, I know niggas like don't like the police, but I'm not stupid enough to be like, I don't want police. We don't need police and shit. Cause like, nigga, yeah, we do need the motherfuckers and shit. The thing is that
I know, cats. That's police. That's cool. They ain't on that.
yeah,
All
I
they
mean,
want to
at the end
do
of
is
the day,
come.
bro,
All they want to do is come to work, do their job, and go home. And they don't consider doing their job bothering people.
yeah, I think motherfuckers like the YouTube got way more fucked up people in it than the police agency does and shit. But like, look at what we're left with. Nobody wants to join. They're getting these fucking fat white with glasses, bad
Yep.
knees,
The
all kinds
same.
of shit. They're not fit to chase nobody. They can't catch nobody. They
Mm-hmm.
can't stop me from committing a crime, bro. They have to
Exactly.
shoot me and shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly. Looking just like that dude, the six cop that they just fired. Now look at that dude. Look at him. I'm about to put his picture up. I'm about to put his picture up and tell me, do he look like he's capable of doing anything besides making a damn sandwich?
You know what pisses me
Yeah,
off?
bro.
This young brother was not even he wasn't no thug type dude, bro. He was a bird watcher, man. Come on, bro.
This is the cop who tased him. This is the one who tased him and said, I hope they stump him out. That's the cop who did that.
I mean, it's like this, bro. Look, I'm in a club, right? It's hella organized. We have a local body. It's our chapter. We run the state, right? There's certain codes and conducts that come with having a chapter, having a state, having a bottom rocker and stuff, right? But like, why even put that shit on if I'm not capable, if I'm not willing to deal with what comes with it? Fucking motorcycle accidents, shootings, maybe even dying and shit, right? See, the same problem presented for the police and shit. Like, nigga, you're signing up because you're a thrill seeker. You're looking to die. That's how that shit works. You're gonna fucking die trying to fucking help somebody, trying to protect your neighborhood or whatever the case may be and shit. But like, I don't know. You got a lot of fucking weirdo niggas and shit want to be cops and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking the shit's just fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, I can't even carry a firearm. You got niggas that shouldn't have a firearm carrying firearms.
I mean, Phenomenal Mommy said something intricate, and it's an actual fact. The police perform as public servants in rich communities. There are terrorists in our communities and in poor communities. They will not go through Bensonhurst or Washington Heights running around snatching nobody up. They will not. But they'll go to Bedford Stuyvesant. They'll go to Crown Heights. They'll go to Harlem. They'll go to those areas to snatch people up. But the other places I just mentioned, they will not be going there snatching nobody up. They go where we're at, where we pay tax dollars also. They get paid to not serve us, but they serve everybody else.
I don't think they serve nobody. I don't think them niggas even know what the fuck they signing up for, bro.
They serve them other neighborhoods. Yes, they do.
I mean,
yes,
like,
they get out, walk the beat, and they first name basis and the whole nine of them other neighborhoods. Not ours though.
yeah, like statistically and shit, crime is in lower in more impoverished areas and stuff. Is there crime in the fucking rich areas? Fucking hell yeah, bro. I know. I rob the motherfuckers and shit. Those are the people I like to hang out with so I can find out what they do, what they don't do, what's illegal and what's not, so I can know who to hit. But on the it's easier for them to get a quota though. See, the thing is, if they can't fucking provide no reason for being, then niggas ain't gonna have no job and they ain't gonna get no fucking nowhere hanging out in the fucking rich neighborhoods and shit where people have money. And if they do crimes, it's fucking like it's more money, white collar crimes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But in the hood, it's just easier, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, to go find weed, you go to the hood, you don't go to the fucking rich neighborhoods.
That's true.
You know, it's our society is like it's not even that we don't value these things. We're told that they have value by the media and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've had police say my fucking ass, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Them bitches took me in jail fucking shitload of times, set me up, all kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, people join the police and people don't join the police and don't even know why. Like this is like part of our society and shit. You know, you said something about tactical gear and shit, tactical measures and stuff. Well, they're gonna need to have some tactical tanks and all kind of shit. We send these niggas to war and stuff to learn tactical warfare and stuff. So they come back, they gonna want some stuff to play with.
When they say a war on anything, regardless to what it is really a war on us. So when they mention the word war on, the underline is us.
Yeah, it's a war on the people. The one thing I don't think it's just automatically only black people, because they got the fucking white. They got to use those people to keep them in line and shit. It's all about everybody staying in line. The white folks, they stay in line. They're not elite, but they think they are.
I could agree with that because it's a class thing. It's a class thing. It's like, you know, if it's not in a certain class, they look down on you. And what's crazy about that, they in that same class looking down on you. In the same class.
Yeah, that shit crazy. Like, I know I'm pretty cool. Like a couple of the cops out here in on the strip and shit. You know what I'm saying? One of them, because that nigga arrested me last year and shit. And every time he see me, he always make a joke like, "Oh, you stay out of trouble. You ain't knocking nobody out." I'm like, now I'm about to knock you out, nigga. And I said that shit, but I'm joking, but I'm saying that shit. I'm cool with him. The two light-skinned niggas, I call him Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and this one black dude. I don't even know his name, but that nigga's like friend of the family and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like these niggas, bro, they regular people though. They'll fuck a motherfucker up with a badge on.
I know police officers that I went to school with. You know what I'm saying? That I went to school with, that I was cool with in school. I'm still cool with to this day. You know, I know them personally. And again, and there's some other ones that I know that's not from here. That's why I always say that if you're going to be a police officer, you should live in the community. You should be from the community, because there's no genuine concern when somebody coming from somewhere else.
You want to know the community, bro. You want to know
exactly
who's fucking in trouble. Because look, this is the fucking thing, right? Is that when my dad told me that Metro was hiring and that they're taking felons, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. He was like, nah, go talk to your uncle, go talk to TJ, and he's gonna get you some information. You fucking fill it out and see what happens. They were waiving felonies, but not only just one felony, not 3 or 4 and shit. So I was fucked in no matter what. But this is the crazy thing about it, though, right? Is that even though I'm the fucking convict, I have more knowledge about law, about right and wrong legally than a non-felon, because they just don't fucking fuck with the shit. They don't break laws, so they don't know what laws are there to break.
Yeah, I mean that's not a good thing, because you can be victimized when you don't know, because you know, when the worst thing you can do is when you encounter a police officer is talk to him. Don't say nothing to that bastard. It's the worst thing you can do is talk to him. If you don't know what you're talking about. If you don't know the law. If you don't know the law, don't talk to them jokers, because they'll jam you up.
Hey, look, even if you know the law and they realize that you know the law, after they try to jam you up, they'll jam you even further up, because they have see, the thing, this is a fucking weird thing. Cops don't know the law.
No, they don't.
They claim that they know the law and shit, but what they're doing is they're fucking throwing spaghetti against the wall, seeing what will stick. So they got to
exactly.
They're gonna stop me. They're gonna fucking go through all these different things, the checkpoints, to see, okay, can I get him on this? Can I get him on that? Can I get on this? Because basically, if he don't, he ain't doing his job.
They go fishing.
Yeah, bro. And I'm fishing too, nigga, because I'm a fucking straight convict.
Most fishing expeditions be the funniest shit ever. I've seen a lot of them on video.
Yep, they can't stop you. They can't get you on this, so they'll try to get you on that. And then a lot of the brothers and the auditors especially be too swift for them. They make those cops look stupid on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's dangerous, though.
I thank you for saying something about the auditors, man, because to be honest, man, they have taught me a lot of shit. I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know, I come in contact with the motherfuckers, I be like, hey, I ain't saying shit. You can say whatever you want. I'm not saying a thing. And most of the time, once you do that, the officer just, shut the fuck up, give you a little ticket.
Nah, it was a good cop.
Some of these other cities, man, I'm just saying, like from what I experienced, right? You get these videos, you see them every day. You like, man, how this motherfucker don't know? How he don't understand that a motherfucker ain't gotta tell him shit. I don't have to interrogate me for you, bro.
That's what lets me know that they're not hiring smart people.
Nah,
the police are not hiring smart people at all. They are not hiring people with even a half a brain, because if you see what's going on throughout the nation and you still are out here doing the foolishness that a lot of them do, that means they're not hiring people that use their brain at all.
Well, you don't want them. You don't want to hire motherfuckers like that use their brain.
I said that earlier. Mental Ninja.
Hey, check this out though. Our whole system's set up on this premise. We all go to school. 12 years a motherfucking slave. I'll be damned, right? But in that school, we are never graded on whether the information that we are producing or repeating is good and true ethically. We're only graded if we can repeat the information.
Exactly.
That's all they want. They want people that will not question, that will repeat. And that's why the school system is so invaluable to them, because you got motherfuckers they're going through school, and if they question shit.
Hey, Mr. Can I ask you something on some real shit? And I'm not trying to be funny, bro. Is that why I got kicked out of school a lot when I was young? Because I got suspended from school a lot, bro. I'm not bullshit, because
I always
don't do all authority, bro.
like, man, what are you talking about? Like, nah, I don't believe that. I always felt my own way. Do you think that's why they will suspend children and kick them out of school because they question shit?
It's not about the questioning, because like you gotta think about like, or consider this, right? The teachers, they're just in it to fucking get a job. They have a job and they have to pay bills. They have a family, they have houses and all kind of shit, right? So they're there strictly to make money. And in their mind, they're thinking that education is a really worthy, endeavor, which kind of is, kind of isn't. It depends on like what kind of teacher you are and how you are with your kids. If you want to interact with the kids, you want to make moves and shit. You want to change lives and shit. But if you're only there to give out the curriculum, grade the curriculum, recess, lunch, go home, then basically you're gonna have a lot of trouble, because none of the kids fucking want to go to school. None of us want to go to school, bro. Like, the world should know that no kid wants to fucking go to school. It's not a good idea that they came up with. But the thing is, like, you don't want them questioning shit. You just want them acting out in behaviors that show that something isn't right. So then you can tax them. Okay, well, this person needs to be suspended. They're not doing their schoolwork. They're fucked up. They're going against society's grain already within the education system, because it's designed to educate and teach us and stuff. So what happens is, like me, I'm a fucking military brat, big houses, fucking
Damn,
travel the world.
schools are really to indoctrinate. They don't educate. They indoctrinate.
That education is indoctrination. No matter what it was, even if it was the truth, it's still indoctrination, because you got to fucking force a nigga to take it.
I got a question.
Seek it on their own.
Mr. Ninja, I got a question for you. So, so you've already said that you feel like education is indoctrination, their education. So would you say that the second indoctrination maybe I'm not putting no words in your mouth, maybe a religion?
It's all the same shit to me, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I can like, oh, well, that's a red building, so therefore it's a red building, but there's a blue building right fucking next to it, and it's also a building. Instead of looking at the colors and the positioning, what function do they provide? And that's the indoctrination. Doesn't matter if it's education, fucking household customs, traffic laws, everything. They basically teach. They send us to school to learn how they send us to school so we can learn how they want us to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not in the same school with their kids. Keep that in mind too. We don't go to school with their kids.
Yeah, and it's totally different type of that's why people always use the term culturally biased, because it's a totally different set of tests. They might ask somebody who grew up in the projects about grass and saying different stuff that we never see.
What's
of course you're gonna get that question wrong.
Hey,
if you've never seen that.
Bringing up the most important shit,
I heard a Jamaican dude say he was African today. It kind of fucked me up.
Who fucking cares? That nigga want to be African. He could be a fucking frisbee for all I care. I'm from California. But check this out. The IQ test, the most fucking ruthless and biased motherfucking thing that you can do in education.
You're right.
The IQ test is designed, the intelligence quotiency, right? Is basically to measure how much intelligence you have on any given day, given any given set of circumstances or whatever, right? But the IQ test, I got 161 on my IQ test. It's in UNLV. I paid $100 to see how fucking smart I was and shit. I'm beyond genius level. It's like fucking like the 1 percentile people. That's what they say. But the thing is, the IQ test is fucking biased, because basically it's going to test the motherfucker based on what they know. So if a person from the city, from the inner city, he's going to score really well on IQ test about the inner city.
Exactly.
But the motherfucker from the country, he going to fail it. But he going to score really well on the countryside. So
exactly.
To think that the whole test itself is designed to like create an idea of competitive competition. Oh, that there are smarter people, and this is how they become smart. IQ test. What it is like they're looking for people who can follow directions and still make innovations. That's what they want. They want someone to come to work, sit in their cubicle, and still come up with new concepts. They don't want somebody who's fucking a cavalier or a maverick that might not come to work and come with a new concept and shit that's fucking bomb as a motherfucker and shit, because you want control. You want them to be docile and predictable so you can move on and shit and focus on your wars and stuff. And this the thing. Right, I'm gonna say this, but more people from the inner cities should be fucking joining the police. I don't want to hear the oh well, if you don't vote, this isn't about voting. This actually more about what do you want in your life and shit. What power do you feel like you have and shit? Because there's only one way to take over the fucking police. We can do it. All the
I can't disagree with that, because if you want a change, you have to be the change that you want.
Yeah,
you have to be the change you want.
At least if you're going on, I want to go and try to find out. I want to change something. And if you don't change it, at least you knew that you could have, and you did. At least you found out you couldn't. But the thing is, bro, if motherfuckers police and shit, they got to hold themselves higher than anybody else in the fucking city. They got to hold themselves higher than the fucking mayor, than the president, than God, than Jesus, and the pastor. Because now your position fucking directly builds or destroys another person's life and shit. And if you look at people as just back numbers or just case files or just criminals or just case numbers or whatever, statutes and shit, then that's all they be.
See, nowadays though, not for nothing, these police departments are, as we discussed earlier, they are gangs, and it's about loyalty to that department, that rank and file. They got their own flag, brother. The thin blue line flag. They got their own flag.
Yep.
That represents them. And if you're not loyal to that flag, meaning if you see a fellow officer doing what those Negroes did to the brother Tyree Nichols, you got to turn a blind eye to it. They would have turned a blind eye to it if that video footage from the elevated platform on the pole wasn't available. They more than likely would have redacted some of the footage and finagled it. They probably would have got away with it.
I mean, look,
they would have made this little 150-pound man some crazed, retarded strength having brother who fought them, and they had to do what they had to do. 5 men weigh over 200 pounds plus. So that's like this. You know how many pounds that is of jumping on this little brother and just beating him to a pulp.
Yeah, bro. Like them niggas. Look, them niggas don't care. Our society don't care. Our society breeds motherfuckers like that. I'm gonna say it like this: that blue lives matter, back the flag shit. That shit came out. It's always been around, but it kind of came into play over the pandemic.
And then when it came into play, being disrespectful. Now, as an organization, I don't support a Black Lives Matter. I support the sentiment of Black Lives Matter, and they came as a response to Black Lives Matter. Blue Lives Matter.
Remember that whole defund the police thing too, right? Like this is what they like. So I don't know if anybody's noticed, but so we're already into our fucking 2020-23 escapade, and there's no COVID, there's no vaccination, there's no Black Lives, Blue Lives, motherfucking Boogaloo shrimp, all the motherfuckers, none of that shit. But what they've done now, they haven't talked about it. They've been showing nothing but fucking crime, bro. Like they've upped the fucking crime as far as reporting. It's gone like up in scale, like about a lot of shit. And the whole point of it is like, to increase just to talk about it more.
If it bleed, it leads.
Huh?
If it bleed, it lead.
Yeah, well, they fucking got their agendas, bro, and like, I mean, nigga, they fucking made the nation the way it is. They made us the way we are and shit. Like
Yeah, that's
the
true.
5 niggas, they got away with killing a nigga, but there's every motherfucking other nigga that gets away all the time. There's not a cop. Somebody's gonna look at them if they fucking go shoot their homeboy or whatever, or rape a bitch or beat up a bitch and shit. If you're not a cop, nobody fucking cares. But once you're a cop, now we fucking care, bro. That's some silly shit right there.
Yeah, it's silly that
You feel me though?
That's silly that we would feel that way when a cop do that. But if you saw 5 Negroes on the street jumping a brother, we supposed to feel the same way,
bro. Like if I go out and fucking hold up, nigga, let's make this a fair fight, nigga.
Exactly.
And they gonna be like, oh, what kind of nigga is you? Oh, you gonna snitch? Blah, blah, blah. See, what I'm doing is I'm interfering with what they had planned and shit. You know what I'm saying? Their plans didn't count for like anybody doing anything against the grain. And their plan is the new state. It's not about if the state is true and good. It's like, can we repeat and can we acknowledge that this is the state and the state is powered by numbers? So look, they have dropped this song called the nigga's name like MOB or some shit. It's called Outside. It's a fucking beautiful fucking song, bro. I love that song, but it's fucking so fucking evil, bro. So fucked up. It's a song about if they kill my homeboy, I'm about to listen to this song. They scared to come outside. And then I'm gonna go ride on my enemies, which are the ops, which are the people that killed my homeboy. And I'm gonna kill one of their people. And I ain't gonna stop until it's done. And then they're gonna fucking sing the song. And they're gonna come get me or get one of my peoples and shit. All fucking we created a song, bro, to fucking justify and like I can't wait to get in. And they kill my homeboy. Well, play the song, they cue the song so we can go ride and shit.
I hear you, brother. Well, I'm gonna conclude this stream now. I appreciate the brothers and the sisters for coming up and building with me. Sometime this week I'm going to do celebrating 50 years of hip hop. I'm going to do that with Big Dog Philly LG.
You said how many years?
50 years. 50 years.
50 years.
Yes.
I'm 41. What hip hop you talking about? I got 9 years on me, nigga.
From 1973 to 2023.
Was that hip hop though?
Yes. Yes. Not necessarily on record, but the not the record. Yeah. Hip hop on record is 1979. But as far as the history as an art form, 1973, 2023. 50 years.
That's just fucking crazy.
I've been around since its inception, before it was on record. So
it's my whole life, bro. Like hip hop is my life, is my world. It's what makes me the man I am today. Hey, real quick, I want to ask a question though, right? And I want to pose a question just for thought. Like for everybody who's listening, like think about this shit. Don't just answer because you're scared of what YouTube might say or whatever, or how you might look. Think about this shit. If you could, would you be a cop? And if you would, why?
It's only one reason to be a cop. And that is to, like I said, if you're not doing it to assure the safety of your people in your community, you're not doing it for the right reason. And if you're going to assure the safety of your people in your community, that means you're not going to do harm to them. Other than that, you're taking the job for the wrong reason.
You like when the George Floyd shit popped off, right? Niggas was tripping on me because I was like, what, nigga, there's all these motherfucking non-felons. Go fucking join the police department so you can change it from the inside. Exactly. That's how simple it is. And people are getting mad at me. I'm like, I'm a felon, bro.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that because if enough of us were to take the job and funnel those other bad cops out, we could change the culture. But it has to start. But people don't want to take that job because they don't want to go in and be subjected to what's going on in the rank and file.
Hey, niggas is fucking weak. Niggas is fucking lazy. They just want a handout. That's the things I don't want to look. I don't want to fucking get in a motorcycle accident. I don't want to fucking be on fucking duty for fucking 3 whole days, Friday, Saturday, 2 whole days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I want to be an outlaw. I want to get all the credit that outlaws get, but I don't want to put the work in for it. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's something to think about. Is it really the cops' fault? Like, them niggas are fucking that's who they're getting. This fucking nerdy ass nigga, what's that nigga's name? Kyle Rittenhouse looking motherfuckers. Meanwhile, I'm an athlete, bro.
That's who they get, and they getting people like that, and those who have like pea brains who will listen to anything and do what they're told.
I'm gonna say
and outright racist at the same time.
I don't know if they're pea brain or not. I hope not, nigga. But like, I totally get what you're saying though. Like, I'll be looking at the police and shit, the new hires. I'm like, damn, look at these motherfuckers, bro. Like, this nigga's not fit to stop. There's no way he's not going to catch me. He can't whoop me. He's not smarter than me.
And he's not going to run after you. He spent more time at the range than he do in the gym. He's not going to fight you. He's not going to run after you because he's spending more time in that range hitting that silhouette center mass. And that's what he's going to do.
Meanwhile, the whole time, bro, it's like the niggas. And the fucking thing is, the fucking worst part about it, like, so my uncle, he's not my blood uncle, but he's like been around before I was born. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was a good cop. He's retired now. An excellent fucking cop. The most famous
they exist. They exist.
Hell yeah, bro. Look, and I'm gonna say it like this, bro. My dad, him and his 2 best friends, Sergeant Vic, rest in peace, and fucking TJ, are both cops. They're fucking good dudes, bro. Like, when I got my first arrest, Sergeant Vic came to city jail, took me out the jail, took me to Jack in the Box. I'm a prisoner. Took me to Jack in the Box and shit to fucking have, say something on behalf of my dad and shit, get my shit together and shit. And he threatens me with the fucking little 1-inch punch. Like, nigga, if you fuck up again, I'm gonna 1-inch punch you. You know what I'm saying? And like, that nigga broke the law to try to, help the fucking people, the child and shit, right? But that's what it comes down to. The police are not here to fucking get case law and work for the judge. They're here to fucking make sure that the people are okay. That's the whole purpose. But the niggas think they're here for like laws and shit. Like, nah, nigga, this is moral support.
Yeah. Well, brother, I'm about to close this stream down. I have to get up in the morning, so I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate my brother Real Lies coming through. I appreciate the sister Slow Burn coming through and contributing to the stream. Thank you. And just know that when I go live, brother, you know what it is, Mental Ninja. You know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, I enjoy your lives, bro. It's just like, it's more important shit that I can talk about than fucking space and planets and stupid shit like that.
Nah, no, I don't care nothing about that, brother.
Moon, stars, quasar. What that nigga mom be saying? Probably say, niggas talk that crazy space shit. Don't even make no damn sense anyway.
Indeed. And peace to y'all. Enjoy y'all evening. The rest of it.
For sure, bro. You too.
This is the Enemies Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Peace, bro.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.